Awesome. What's happening? I'm Brandon.
Hey, I'm Delonte.
Delonte?
Delonte.
Delonte.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for coming by, man. What brought you by?
Well, I had seen, got some information about the event off the news. I was looking on ABC 13.
No way. Right on. Heck yeah.
Yeah. So it was saying that y'all was doing it for 24 hours. And I feel like the Lord was moving on me to come and give you like a thorough voice, somebody who's actually going through these situations and is actually staying in Houston.
Absolutely, man. I want to hear. I'm glad you came by. So tell me what's up.
Well, I actually was kind of already familiar with Open Door Mission. Y'all would come to my church, Grace Bible Church.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so we had a church plant out in Katy called Providence Church, Katy.
Yes, sir.
So and I got a brother who would come and preach up here sometimes. So I was already familiar with it, and I feel like it was a great opportunity to be able to come, like I said, lend an authentic voice, be able to reach people who most likely are going through some of the same things I'm going through, and I can be a voice for them.
Yeah, tell me what's up, man. What are you going through?
Well, let's just talk about some of the issues like homelessness.
Yeah, man.
The reason why, one of my opinions why homelessness is so great in Houston right now is the wage disparity, right? The rent prices of apartments and homes are sky high, and the wages that we're getting paid for jobs is so low. There's no way that you can be able to sustain a family, rent a home, which they're asking for 3 times the renting price, with jobs is only paying $14, $15 an hour. It's impossible.
Right? Yeah, you're right.
We need jobs that's paying more, right?
Yeah.
And significantly more, not just a few more dollars, more like $10, $15 more, so that we can actually have a cushion where we can actually take care of our families, take care of our rent, and have an emergency. We can actually put money aside
to be able
to take care of emergency funds, right? And that will help alleviate a lot of the stress that's happening in Houston. This is driving up the crime rate because so many people are so stressed out. Nobody knows where exactly direction they're going.
I'm glad you brought that up. The other day, yesterday, it was on Channel 13 News. I was watching, obviously, I was watching because they were going to talk about us, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about a story of some pretty epic road rage that took place in Sugar Land.
Right.
And my immediate thought was, man, people are, they're worn out, man. They're exhausted.
Exactly.
This is impossible to live in and work. Yeah.
Right. I
sure.
mean, and most of these people don't know Jesus the way we do, right?
Yeah.
Jesus is able to come meet you in your troubles. He won't necessarily come bring you out of them, but he will come meet you in them. And it will give you a peace that sustains and a joy, right?
Without a doubt.
And most of Houston, they don't know him. They may know of him. They may be able to give you some Bible verses, but they don't actually have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And that is a great difference.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Being somebody who, just because I'm a disciple of Jesus, that doesn't make me immune from the troubles of the world, right? Like I said, I deal with homelessness. I deal with, children trouble, right? The bullying that's going on, the age and generation of children without any respect for elders, right? All of these things are driving the psychology of people out of this world, right? But one of the biggest things is financial literacy, right?
Yes.
It's not necessarily being taught and being driven in our communities. So people don't necessarily, if they were to get money, they wouldn't even know how to manage it, right? Because they never really had it.
You're right. Nobody taught them how to do it.
Right. And so you get money and you just spend, and nobody knows how to budget. Nobody's looking forward to the day of tragedy coming.
You're right.
Where they need money to be able to do it.
And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Exactly.
Because we live in and we know this from Scripture, a sinful, fallen, broken world. And because it's sinful, fallen, and broken, like,
these things
broken things are going to happen, right?
These things are inevitable.
That's right.
Yeah. These things are inevitable. So, so that's one thing. Another thing is, which I see Houston is starting to address more. So I want to be fair in some areas. It is resources like community resources as far as educational wise, right? ACC is doing a great job with offering classes almost free, right? A tuition, right? So big ups to Houston. I guess it's Houston City College, but you always be Houston Community College to me. You also have a lot of training programs that's trying to help people get into trades, right? Which a lot of those schools are free, right? You just have to go commit yourself to the programs, right? And so I commend Houston for those things, but I think that we need more people that are willing to be able to do the work also, right? Which brings in accountability.
Right.
We need more people in Houston that are willing to take accountability willing to want to help our city and our communities get better, right? And instead of just want to blame everything on the Houston City Council or Houston, our mayors or whatever, which, I mean, it's almost impossible for them to fix every single thing, right? Especially without the help of the community. And the same thing that goes with HPD. You know, they can't solve any crime. They can't solve every single crime without the help of us, you know, actually helping in our communities and being a cornerstone. And all these things I've learned through following Jesus, right? The right way of what righteousness is, justice, law, right? Things that I didn't really care for at first, right? Because I just didn't have the knowledge and I wasn't open to these things. Now I'm more concerned with how law is being handled. Justice actually being served, you know, people not escaping these things, right? Because we serve a God of justice and righteousness, right? And he's very serious about these things. So you want to be serious about what he's serious about. And God cares about the people who's doing bad, like the widows and the orphans, right?
Right.
You know, and okay, so I guess the last time we want to touch is addiction. Addiction is a very, very hard thing to necessarily navigate and kind of get a hold of, because it's so many different faceted things. You have it, the drugs are available everywhere, right? I mean, it's just it's going to happen, right? You have generational addictions being passed down, right? And then you just have a lack of self-control. You know, and as a follower of Jesus, I'm speaking from experience, right? Even you know, almost following Jesus almost 7 years, I have had my battles with addiction, right? Maybe not as hard as maybe people say at the Open Door Mission, but it's still real for me. You know, I still suffer the consequences of these things. And you know, families are affected, right? Our children are affected because when we do these things, oftentimes we may go to jail, we get taken away from them, right? So now we're in a space where you almost, you know, the living dead. You know, people will forget about you because you're not around, and your family's suffering. They can't take care of you. They weren't able to really take care of ourselves when you was out here.
That's right.
So, you know, it's just a lack of just accountability, understanding, and resources. And I want to be a voice for the people who are out here struggling. And like I said, one of the biggest things that we can help with homelessness is actually giving us high-paying jobs that are reasonable, right? And that's also starting with us getting the skills that we need to be able to fulfill these jobs, but also just opportunities. You know, not everybody, for example, like me, was always thinking the way I was thinking. So I would jump from job to job, just trying to seek the highest dollar, right? Instead of trying to stay with a job and move in within. So now I done messed up my resume, right? I have felonies, right? That you know, most jobs, if they're not 7 years past, they won't even give you opportunity. Right. So these things are affecting. So now what do these people do once they see, okay, I've been trying to get a job, but they won't let me? They're going to turn right back to the things that got them in the position that they're in already, because they don't see any way
out. Are bringing up a great point, dude. You are absolutely, and again, we watch that cycle play out here pretty regularly at Open Door, where somebody just kind of gives up hope, and because they gave up hope, they went back to the very thing that they got clean from, they got sober from, and they said, that's not my lifestyle anymore. But they reached a level of despair, because it really is tough to survive.
I mean, it's almost the despair is, you can't even put it into words. You know, the heartbreak. You know, because now, you know, you got the addiction, you have the lack of funds, you can't feed your family, you can't take care of your wife, and these things cause problems. They cause separations, they cause divorces, right? And you're walking around these people every day, you don't even know it, right?
That's right.
So now, you know, we wonder why, oh man, like, why did this person just snap off like that? Why did this person just cut me off in traffic and, you know, just start shooting this person, right? It's because all these things are just boggling them. Without the absence of Jesus too, I cannot stress the importance of having a true relationship with Jesus Christ, because it leads to the Father and the peace that it brings from that. Now, I'm not going to be the one to deceive you and let you know that all your problems is going to stop when you start to believe in Jesus. But the
sometimes they get worse, but you at least you have something to lean on.
I can almost guarantee that some of your circumstances will get worse, right? When you start to follow Jesus, because spiritual warfare is real. The enemy does not want you to escape from the world, the flesh, and the devil, right? So these things are real, right? And I just wanted to come bring these things a real voice, a real face.
I love it, man. I'm so glad you came and shared. I do want to know this though before you take off. Tell me about your journey to follow Jesus, because man,
Absolutely.
the passion you have excites me, and like, man, it's a great way to kick off the whole day is having this conversation. So tell me about your journey to meet Jesus, and just what that journey looks like for you right
Absolutely.
now.
Well, I'm gonna make it very brief. I guess if I can make it a minute. I was raised by in a Christian household. You know, if that's an appropriate thing to say. My mother and father, they were very dedicated to taking us to church. I couldn't stand it growing up. So as soon as I got old enough, I left, right? And and that led me to having more time to get into the streets. I started to learn different things about my past that my family didn't really let me know in. And it kind of traumatized me. It kind of put me in a stage of rage and, discontentment. So I started to try to find myself in the street life that Houston offered, right? Which is very vibrant, sad to say. So I went through that while I'm in and out of jail cells, been to prison. In between the time I had a daughter, one of my stints in prison, my mother died, right? And these things just take a toll on you. So while my mother was sick though, before she passed, in Texas Department of Corrections, you can't just call home off of the phone, right? They have to register from the outside. My mom, she's sick and nobody knows how to do that. So the sergeant advised me to get okay with the chaplain, right? He'll let you get free phone calls to go home. So me and him would talk every day because I was so concerned about calling my mom, right? And he would be talking to me about Jesus, at that time I wasn't opposed to Jesus. I just didn't really understand what it really meant to truly follow Jesus. So I kind of was deceived about my true state of, my soul, what following Jesus really entailed. So God would send people to talk to me about that. When I was finally released from prison for the last time in 2018, I went and visited an aunt who she would write me after my mom died. We got real close, very godly woman, right? And I went and visited her. She told me, that, hey, I need to change my lifestyle. I need to change certain things if I want things to get better. And she gave me a radio when I was leaving. And she told me to turn to channel 105.7, which is keeping him close by, right? And all they play is Christian radio, Christian programs. They have really biblical teachers on there, right? So I'm listening. I'm like, man, I never heard anybody, teach like this, teach the Bible in this way, right? And I was captivated to when I started to come home and actually listen to it. And I was like, man, I think I want to take my relationship with Jesus more serious. And of course, the devil didn't like that. So things started to get worse for me. And I kind of was discouraged. I was like, I don't think Jesus really cares about us. How could these things happen to us? I done had such a hard life and things just don't never get better, right? And, the more I tried to pull away, the more Jesus drew me in to where I finally, came to the end of myself. The conviction of sin was too much. The fear of death was too much for me. And I just told Jesus, I was like, look, I've heard a lot about you coming up from my mother and different people. If you really are who they say you are, I want the new life that you offer.
Oh man!
And I haven't been the same since. It's next January makes 7 years I've been walking with the Lord.
Dude, that's such a great story, man.
And
that is a beautiful story for sure.
And now, I'm very much passionate for the Lord Jesus Christ.
I love it. I can tell.
The Lord led me to a biblical church and Grace Bible Church. That's why.
Yeah, man, they've been a huge support and
right.
This place.
Love Grace Bible Church. Y'all
awesome.
Grace Bible Church. And also, I'm part of a church plant in Katy called Providence Church, Katy. We came from Grace to Katy. So if you're in the Katy area, look up Providence Church, Katy. You can come. If you're in the Houston area, Grace Bible Church. I can't speak of it good enough.
I love it. Well, man, so what do you do for work right now?
Right now, I'm in between jobs. That's part of the reason why I came up here.
If you could do anything, what would you do? Because who knows who's watching and who knows what opportunities are out there. So
absolutely.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
I would do anything.
There we go.
Whether it be plumbing, electrical. Now, to be honest, I don't have a lot of experience in these areas, but they're very lucrative trades and things that I would like to learn. And I would like to get up under somebody and learn these things, even if it's auto body repair work. If I just get an opportunity to come in and learn, usually my background has been warehouse work, retail, or sales. But I would like to do something that would be career defining and something that can help me set up my family for the long term. And I think that the best way to that would be a trade. Currently, I also have been going to school to get my certificates in IT because I want to, I'm interested in cybersecurity and just the IT field. So if anybody there is able to offer me an opportunity in that field, that would be lovely. and it would bless not only me but my family also.
Well, the one thing I want to get a picture of you because when we get done here, I'm gonna text it to a buddy of mine who owns an electric company who supports a lot of the guys here at the mission as well, and I think it'd be a great opportunity to at least connect you guys and see what might happen. So let's grab a picture together and we'll send it to him and see what we can do. Awesome. Hey, man, thanks for the time. Thanks for coming by.
Man,
I'm so glad you heard this story on the news.
Thank you for doing this.
And decided to come by.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, thank you for doing this. Thank God for leading me to the link where I was able to see this and giving me the will to want to come up here and come do this, man. Thank you so much.
You totally kicked this off in the right way. So thanks a lot, man. It's
God bless you, man.
And I feel like I got a new friend.
Yeah, you do. So hopefully, man, we can maybe I can get your contact.
Please do. Yeah. Ask these guys; they'll give it to you.
Absolutely, man.
Love it. Cool.
Right,
awesome, man. Nice to meet you.
We're gonna do the Lord's work.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, man, this is what Conversations on a Bench is all about. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, should I come to Open Door and have a conversation?